Thanks for joining us. And Colette, back on the couch today. Hello.
Hello.
We're talking about bullying today, which is something as a mum you've probably had to talk to your kids about.
Yes.
But when you find out your kid's the bully, that's a bit of a challenge. First up, tell us why kids actually bully.
Look, the most common one that most of us would recognise is when a child or an adult seeks power. So they seek to dominate others or intimidate others. They want to be the top of the food chain, as it were, in their social group. And so they use that to intimidate others and put themselves first. But then there's other subtle ways. Sometimes I actually say, sometimes your child might be what I call the secondary bully. In other words, there's a chief bully in their peer group, and your child feels they need to kind of do what the chief bully does so they can maintain the friendship. There's also self-preservation. So they might be afraid the bully will turn on them, and so they continue with this behaviour to kind of take the focus away from themselves. Some children have just not learned good anger management skills or impulse control skills, and so they lash out on the playground to the same poor group of children every time. And so those are kind of some of it. It's quite complex.
Yeah, but when you say like that they haven't learned anger management skills, parents can really take the blame for that on themselves.
Yes.
So is bullying something that you learn from the home environment, or where does it really come from?
I'm glad you asked that, because I always get a little bit nervous with that. Yes, there certainly are times when children learn that from home, from a sibling, a parent, or whatever it might be. But I do see families of 4 children and only one child has engaged in bullying behaviours and the others never have. And so to always blame the parents can actually stop parents from reaching out for help. They need support. It becomes quite simplistic, and then we don't look at some of the other areas. So we need to look at that, but many of the other areas.
Yeah, it can almost be a little bit taboo. But so if you do realise as a parent then that your child is the bully, what can you do to help them change that behaviour?
So firstly, when you get the phone call from school, stay calm.
Yep.
Take some time to process if you need to. And then when you talk with your child, avoid shaming your child. I think you need to reassure your child that you are there to listen and you want to hear what's happened, not excusing the behaviour. So never excusing the behaviour. You state the facts, you say what you've heard. A lot of children will try and make excuses or pretend it wasn't them, or somehow there's some reason. You just keep going back to the facts. Some children don't like to take responsibility, so it's important for you to get them to a point where they do take responsibility for what they've done. Sometimes it's even appropriate to get them to write a note of apology to a child. And then sit with your child and work out, have they been a victim themselves so that they are also engaging in bullying behaviour. Look at consequences for your child. If the school has got consequences, you follow through with those and you support the school. They're there to help.
Yeah, Colette.
So, yep, there's lots. This is actually something I've dealt with on At the Table magazine, Mums at the Table. I would say go there for some more of the tips.
Great, Colette. Thank you so much. And remember that, stay calm, pay attention to the facts, and make sure you check if your child has been bullied as well. And as Colette mentioned, for more tips and tricks, make sure you follow us on our socials as well.